Hey, thanks for joining me again. Today I am sharing with you my thoughts about the Snow Peak Trek 1400 Titanium Cookset. So, few things about this product. First of all, it retails for about $60. It weighs 7.4 ounces, which is super ultra light, especially for this size, because it's titanium, of course. Now, one of the advantages of titanium is that it is supposed to be, I've done a bunch of research, and of all the different materials that you can cook in, whether it's steel or aluminum or titanium or clay or whatever, silicon, titanium is supposed to be the least harmful to your health, and it's supposed to leach out the least bits of particles into the food that you consume and into liquids. So that was one of the main, in addition to the ultralight aspect, that was probably the main impetus for going with titanium for me, as I tend to be a little bit of a health freak, oftentimes. Anyway, so a few things apart from that about this cook kit is that it is, it's called the 1400. So first of all, it also comes in a 900 and a 700. That is the number. That number is the volume of this pot measured in milliliters. So 1400, in this case, 1400 milliliters is nearly a liter and a half worth of liquid volume. And that is about 57-ish ounces, I think. I'll have to double check on that one, but that's what I think it was. Oh no, 47. I think that's what it was. Yeah, 47 ounces. Pretty sure that's correct. Anyway, now that you have full confidence in my memory, I'll proceed. So this one also has, yeah, it's 47. Okay, I just looked at the number thing. Okay, so here, let's see. I don't know if you can see that. Let's try it over here. All right, so here you're going to see backwards that it's got liters on one side and ounces on the other side. Up to this line right here is either 1 liter or 35 ounces. So that would mean that the top of that is up to 47 ounces. Okay, it also has folding handle, which is very nice. Oh, another cool thing about titanium, actually, is that different metals retain heat and lose heat at different rates. Cool thing about titanium, which is why they make a lot of the space crafts equipment out of it, is that it loses heat very quickly. So basically what that means is that if you can contrast that with something like a material like copper, for example, copper retains heat for a long time. So I'll show you how that kind of is relevant here. So let's say you have a copper cup or something. You put hot coffee in it or something like that. You try to put it to your lips. As soon as your lips touch the rim, even though there's no hot coffee on the rim, it's scalding hot and it'll burn your lips. Whereas something like titanium, on the other hand, it cools very quickly, the actual material. So as soon as the heat is removed from it, the pot will cool very fast once you take it off the fire or the stove, or once you empty out hot contents from it. Also, you know, in contrast to the copper thing I was talking about, when you pour hot coffee in here, I drink my hot coffee out of here. When you pour hot coffee in here, you can put it up to your lips and you don't scald your lips, because even though there's hot coffee in the bottom here, the top of this is still nice and cool. Okay, next feature. So the lid here, it has 2 functions. I'm always a big fan of multifunctional backpacking equipment. And I'll tell you kind of what the pros and cons are about this. So not only is it a lid, first of all, there's 2 ways you can use it as a lid. You can put it that way, and that's how I typically do it, because what I find is that when I boil water in there and I put it down that way, it ends up, because the lid is a little bit, you know, it hangs over the actual pot, it ends up dripping over and such, and running down the sides. So I end up typically boiling my water with the lid up this way. The other thing that the lid that they purport it to function as is also as a frying pan, okay? I have fried eggs in here on numerous occasions, and it does work, but something to keep in mind is that the eggs, if I'm trying to do like actually any kind of eggs, I usually do over easy, but if I'm trying to do any kind of eggs, it really sticks to this material as I'm frying it. It really sticks to the titanium, so you don't get a nice easy egg. Even if I use a ton of butter to fry it in, it still sticks to the material. So they kind of they become scrambled pretty quickly. But even more important than that, forget about the material. More important than that, there is one design malfunction or one flaw in the design of this lid. Here, I'll show you. Okay, so basically, let's say I want to cook some eggs in this thing, right? Here's my fire, here's the thing, frying some eggs and whatever. The issue here is the handle, okay? And the thing is that the handle, when it folds this way for storage, okay? However, this little part right here, these things, which is what holds it in place, so it clicks into that spot. But those are not super tough. So what happens is if you have any weight on this pan, it ends up dropping. And I'll tell you, I actually have stupidly more than once, dropped the eggs that I was cooking. And that's a very frustrating experience. I'm going to show you something real quick to compare that to, and I'll tell you what I think they should do in terms of design correction. Now, it's going to take some re-engineering, but really the handle should fold over that way somehow, so that when it locks into place like this, it can't drop if there's weight in it. And I'll show you an example. Let me just grab something here. Let me find that thing real quick. Bear with me. Okay, so when contrasting the handle on that to this like MSR stowaway pot, let me show you here. So that's what MSR did with their stainless steel stowaway pot. They have the, similar kind of thing. Here's the frying pan for the Snow Peak Titanium Cookset, and then here is the pot for the MSR stowaway pot. See, on this one, the handle does actually fold over and lock into place like that. So it doesn't matter how much weight I put in there, this thing is not going anywhere. You're not dropping the load, so to speak, when you're cooking with this thing. So I would love to see them change this situation into something more like that situation. And let's see. Is there anything else I would like to say about this product, since this is the one that I'm reviewing in this video? Oh yeah, also, I don't remember if I said this already, but if I would go ahead and buy this thing again, I find that the 1400 milliliter volume, it's cool and everything, but I would actually think I would buy something closer to a liter instead of a 1.5 liter volume, because this I find is a little bit much for backpacking. And I typically in the past have found with previous backpacking pots that even with 2 people, I can feed myself and another pretty sufficiently at a 1 liter worth of food. So like I said, this is a 1.5 liters, so this is a bit larger than what I would have gone for. And like I said, it does come in the 900 milliliter, which is pretty close to a liter of food, or a liter of volume, and that's probably what I would recommend. Although this is an amazing product, and only downside is this, under-designed lid, let's say. Anyway, if you got any more questions, or any questions that is, hit me up and let me know what you think. Thanks for watching.